Bob Iger to take legal action against South Park for the Pandaverse special episode. Man, Mike's cooking hot today. Let's see what he got.
Now, I think that we could all safely agree here that Bob Iger is absolutely the worst CEO of all time over at Disney, not just for what is currently happening with the Disney stock as a result of his bad decisions, but let's...
Wow. He actually just called Bob Iger bad. No, not a lot of people do that. When Bob Iger first came in, people were like, Bob Iger, the savior of Disney. He's gonna make it all good. Star Wars, Disney, everything's gonna be good. Why? What? I don't understand why people even thought that Bob Iger is gonna be this messiah savior. I looked him up and it took me roughly 3 seconds to realize he's probably just gonna make things worse, honestly. He has absolutely no background in liking anything movie-related or even caring about the existence of source materials. Hey, at least Mike's calling that out. A lot of people don't.
Let's focus on everything else on all fronts. What he did with the Disney parks, the ongoing box office failures one after the other, upping the price of merchandise, rates for Disney Plus, while also excluding some content on there. The list goes on, and it's just getting more ridiculous as we go throughout the 2020s. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, ever since South Park joining the Pandaverse aired just a couple of days ago...
Dude, look at this, Bob. He probably cares spending time more with Bobby Kotick amongst the Bobs of the world than actually movies. He probably doesn't even know what Star Wars is, honestly. And this is supposed to be your savior. I'm sorry, but whenever I see a CEO wear this type of shirt, there's something wrong. There always, without exception, has been throughout history something wrong with CEOs that wear these types of shirts ever. Because that's the, well, I'm here for a lot of money, and that's kinda it reason shirt.
Go on Paramount Plus, and by the way, guys, I gotta give a clap to Paramount Global, Comedy Central, and let's not forget about South Park Studios with Trey Parker and Matt Stone for really making this episode happen and call.
By the way, if you didn't watch the episode, watch it. It's really good. Admittedly, they do go a little bit lax at the end because they don't try to be too much on either side. But, you know, it's still a great episode.
Calling out Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger by name and by character, mind you. I think it was revolutionary on their end and legendary. This episode, I think, is going to be right up there with many of the other events like streaming wars, etc., etc. Now, what's interesting about this, though, is exactly what Bob Iger is doing as a way to take action against South Park and what's going on again between the Disney heads and the Comedy Central heads. We already talked about how behind the scenes are
probably nothing. They're probably all drinking champagne and not caring at all behind the scenes.
Reportedly, Disney analysts have realized a significant dip in Disney Plus subscribers, a dip that they have not seen before since the Pandaverse episode had dropped, and they're blaming those reductions in subscribers on the Pandaverse event special. So let's get...
How does that make any sense? The people who watch South Park and they already hate what Disney is doing. There's not a lot of new people coming here watching the South Park episode and being like, oh my god, this is eye-opening. Now I see the light. Thank you, South Park, for showing me the truth of the world. Bro, what do you mean? Disney analysts have seen a dip in Disney Plus subscriptions right around the Pandaverse. I need to see that. I don't believe that at all.
Let's get into all of this. Now, specifically, of course, with everything, of course, being put out there, with Bob Iger currently dealing with the endless backlash from the public against Disney parks, entertainment, and the corporate decisions that he has made, one major development has to do with Iger now taking action against South Park after their Pandaverse special aired on Paramount Plus. As of now...
Okay, is this real? Because there's no shot this is real. Like, how stupid do you need to actually be to do that? Making fun of a public figure is pretty much unsuable almost in America, as much as I know. And anyone can make a parody of you whenever they want, especially if you are a walking parody already.
Now, Bob Iger and the board of directors have already been in contact with Paramount Global, South Park Studios, and Comedy Central in an attempt to stop Comedy Central with further plans of mocking Disney and the current status of the company. As it turns out, Iger and the Comedy Central heads are setting up a serious legal meeting again to take place in the middle of November.
Again?
Where the Disney heads are going to, in the meantime, find a valid series of proof that it was indeed Comedy Central that was the cause for their recent significant dip in Disney Plus subscribers.
God. And dude, there's absolutely no... Might as well attest the dip to global warming, honestly, at this point. Dude, that's not serious. There is absolutely no way you can find proof that that happened, okay? Even if your graph does go like this, when the Paniverse starts, if it previously wasn't going like this fast up, there's just no shot.
And Iger is already making legal warnings against Comedy Central, and wrongfully so, mind you. Both creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone will also be involved in this remote meeting that will be done remotely, of course, between Comedy Central and Disney. Even Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy will be involved in this meeting, and that she is also in Disney's aid of finding legal warnings against South Park in the meantime. The Disney legal team is working hand in hand with Disney heads before this meeting takes place in the coming weeks. What Comedy Central made clear 1 week ago.
Now, admittedly, there's two sides of this, okay? Do I believe these people are so absolutely just blatantly stupid to try and do something like this? Technically, yes. Do I absolutely believe that the legal department said, yeah, sure, we can do that, just because, you know, otherwise they would be in risk of getting fired and replaced? Yes, I absolutely also believe that. But is this really possible? No. No one's gonna be that. You can't be that stupid.
Is that Disney in the previous meeting is that they are planning to do...
Also, I'm pretty sure this is like a unanimous thing that happens with South Park. Whenever they make fun of some celebrity, that there's always this huge, oh my god, that celebrity's gonna sue South Park for this because they didn't like it. Yeah, has that ever happened? I'm pretty sure no.
More events and Pandaverse follow-ups to continue to create a parody for Disney, since it's great for their Paramount Plus business model. What really set off Bob Iger and the board, however, was how South Park exposed their current stock situation. Now, guys, let me just say one thing about that. Now,
expose the current stock situation. I didn't know I can't Google the current stock situation. Wow. Oh no, wow. Man, how did South Park get this crazy, unknown information about the Disney stock situation? Oh, whoa! It's not like everyone has already been talking about this, bro. If Bob Iger is gonna sue South Park, they might as well just get Nerdrotic and Heelers Babyface also in that lawsuit, because they they need to be stopped talking about the stock drop.
When we look at Disney right now, it's almost like a bizarro Disney. You know, I
really?
always look at Disney in this day and age as a different Disney than what we saw 15 years ago, heck, maybe even like 12 years ago. I like to call...
Dude, remember the good old Disney when you were a kid? How they tried to hide sexual innuendos and like Kim Possible and all of that good stuff? Pepperidge Farm remembers, boys. Okay? Remember that? Yeah. Now they're just being blatant about all of that shit. It's no longer even fun. It's kind of disgusting.
Call it Dinsey, like D-I-N-S-E-Y. That's my little nickname for the bizarro Disney. It comes from a common typo that many people make with Disney. So Dinsey by Bob Iger is just not the real Disney that we all grew up with.
Oh yeah,
now,
I actually also make that typo.
When we look at everything happening with this, we know that Bob Iger and the board have absolutely no clue what they're doing. It seems like that they are just doing this to scare Comedy Central. They're trying to intimidate them. That's what it comes across as to me. And not for nothing, guys, I love South Park, I love Trey Parker and Matt Stone, but they could have gone a little bit harder on Kathleen Kennedy. I felt that they shouldn't be offended over an event and or a episode where they literally gave Kathleen Kennedy redemption.
Dude, yeah. I'm actually also pissed about that. That's true. Because South Park is not on one side typically of the argument. They also, get in the second side, but it does feel like they went very lenient on Kathleen Kennedy, the one who decided I'm gonna self-insert myself as Ray of the bestest evers. Yeah, they really did go easy on her. No one was attacking Kathleen. Well, everyone was, but everyone she cared about was defending her. The media, the this, the that's. She probably never heard a single bad thing said about her. I would be surprised if she even knows that bad things are being said about her and that she's not the bestest of ever. Okay, at this point, unironically, by the way. I think they defended her too much. They gave her way too much plausible deniability that everything that, is happening to Disney, well, Star Wars specifically, is not her fault, okay? Because it is. It is. I think that's something that you can easily disagree with the South Park episode. They were everything was fine about everything, but they went way too lenient on Kathleen Kennedy. I think they honestly did go way too lenient with her.
At the end of this event, I'm sure that you guys watched to the very end where Parker and Stone gave Kathleen Kennedy redemption. Now that could mean two different things. They may have been wanting to future-proof their event episode where they suspect that Kathleen Kennedy is going to do that and make better content after this event drops.
No, these people don't know what's wrong with their content. It's like in Diablo 4, everyone wants a gem bag because, well, some place to store gems, and, well, Blizzard gives you some place to store gems, and now your whole bag, well, at least elixir slots, are filled with, special boss summoning materials that you don't want there. It's like, they fixed something, maybe, but they don't understand why it needed to be fixed in the first place. And in the case of Disney, they're not even fixing anything currently. They don't understand what needs to be fixed.
To kind of change her mind, that may very well have been nothing more than future-proofing it, or they just flat out wanted to go more light on the whole situation. It's very possible, but Parker and Stone, over the years, I just feel like that they're not as hard as they used to be, like 10 years ago, give or take. But they could have definitely did a better job. I'm not saying they did a bad job. They just could have done a better job with mocking Kathleen Kennedy. And I don't see why she's getting so offended. I don't know why Disney's getting so offended.
I know why, because what has Disney done anything wrong? Well, not in Disney's eyes. So obviously they're gonna get offended. And when situations like this happen, yeah, hey, if someone big calls you a loser, are you gonna be happy about it, or you're gonna say, that's so great? No, obviously you're gonna hate it.
But a lot of it has to do with the stock jab, where Cartman is falling down that endless pit of falling numbers. Disney did not like that one bit, and here is why. Now, on top of that...
Wait. Are these the creators of South Park? Dude, the last time I saw how they looked in real life was, I don't know, 20 years ago, maybe-ish? Wow, this is nothing of what I remember if these are the creators of South Park. Jeez Louise. Wow.
Something, of course, they were infuriated over from Comedy Central, making that public for the stock going down to regular people that may not be following the current status of Disney's.
Whoa! Okay, so here's the thing. If regular people don't follow the stock, what does it matter that they know that the stock's falling? If they don't understand or care, well, most people don't understand about stocks. Let's get that misconception out of the way, okay? Most people don't care about it going down or up. Most people are gonna take the most stupidest excuses why the stock is going up or down in any case, no matter what happens anyway. So what does this matter? how does South Park telling their small minor audience of no one cares amounts what's happening? Like, dude, when this episode dropped, it wasn't even properly trending on Twitter. Okay, that's how honestly little people care about South Park.
Stock. The board and Iger, along with the Disney analysts, reportedly saw a 5% dip practically overnight since the Pandaverse special aired, and this is the source of.
Wait, what? Disney stocks. 5 days. Well, there is a slight dip, but that's not 5%. That's 1%. Well, let's check. South Park Pandaverse release date. Thank you, Google. 27th of October. Now let's look at the Disney stock. 27. The 27 starts. Okay, so the 27 starts. At 9, it's, well, let's say 80. Then it goes to 81. Wow, and then it doesn't. No, nothing's happening here, boys. Nothing's happening with the stock. The stock actually went up a fucking $1 at that time. That South Park should be suing Disney that they own them that $1 of their stock increase. And after there was at the 30th of October, huge drop of 1.5 in the market. No, it wasn't even the market opening. I don't know what that is. And now it's up. The stock is up at this point. The stock is up like, how much is this? 2%. The stock is up 2%. Stock's up to Disney's stock is up 2%. I love Mike. Because the reality is most people who are watching this, they're not gonna check out that the stock actually drop. I mean, you can make up all the shit in the world that you want. Most people are not gonna check it out. Yeah, that's a blatant lie. Oh wait, is there a difference? No, this is just Walt Disney. There's no Disney Plus stock, right? Disney Plus stock. Yeah, there's no such thing as Disney Plus stock. Okay, and even if there was, it would reflect in the basic Disney stock also. So yeah, this just didn't happen. This just flat out hasn't happened. This is a completely beyond 100% made up event. Nice.
What's causing Bob Iger to hop on the train to go head-to-head with Comedy Central. Of course, everything is parody and Disney is unlikely to find a reason here, but their legal team is working hard in advance to convince Comedy Central to back off, or they will continue their legal research and the impact of Disney Plus subs from Comedy Central's future events. Both Parker and Stone already have continued plans to mock Kathleen, Bob Iger, Mickey Mouse.
How do we know that? Admittedly, it's a fair and easy assumption, to be honest, considering how popular that is, and that's what South Park does. But, again, how do we know that? We make it up. That's how we know it.
Steamboat Mickey, and even multiple Snow Whites, such as Rachel Zegler's and Brett Cooper's, as part of the multiverse.
Well, yeah, Rachel Zegler is definitely probably going to get at least a mention from South Park at some point. That is undeniable. Like, I could have predicted that.
To continue in new events. These episodes were greenlit via Comedy Central and made public to the Disney Board of Directors. Now, again, here's the...
What do you mean made public to the Disney Board of Directors? The Disney Board of Directors... You can't choose it to not make it public to the Disney Board of Directors. That's not how a Board of Directors work. The Board of Directors are actually in more power than Bob Iger. It's very rare when you have a Board of Directors... Well, actually, it's not that super rare, but... A Board of Directors typically has more power than the CEO, like, all the time. The CEO is someone who pretty much just, you know, tells the board of directors what's happening. You can't choose to not tell this to the board of directors.
Problem that I have with Disney is that...
Well, I say that you can't choose, but you can easily choose to not do it, and there's not going to be any repercussions. The board of directors is also pretty funky wonky in that sense also.
They don't get a clue here that this is all parody. It's illegal. They can do what they want with this episode. And sure, they had Cartman really mocking the current status of Disney stock. It's still parody. And I don't see what Disney's trying to do. I don't see what kind of valid legal threats that they could really make behind closed doors, that they are trying to research and find valid proof that it was South Park that caused that dip. Look, at the end of the day, Disney Plus subs have been dropping endlessly for way over...
Yeah, I actually agree with that, Mikey boy. I feel like this is honestly it. Anyway, that was our Grandmaster DM, Mike Zeroth. No, I'm not gonna call you Mike Zero. Okay? Zeroth sounds cooler. Okay, Mike? The Grandmaster of fairy tales. Dude, it's insane that this guy has such an absolutely ginormously successful channel on just essentially what amounts to pure fiction. It's really funny. I absolutely love it. I just watch this as satire constantly because it's just hilarious. It is what it is. Anyway, this is Quizzer Sensei. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.